Hey, how you all doing? Are you still awake? Do we feel nervous? We feel a little nervous, apparently. Yeah, so our introduction was longer than our talk. So we won't go into that again. But what else did we have to say? Oh, I know. Tell them about Perth Machine Learning Group.
Oh, we are very friendly a group for people from beginner to expert. So if you want to join us, check us out from the meetup.com. And we are very friendly, and we love to have application in machine learning world.
They have nearly 3,000 members in the Perth Machine Learning Group, so I think it's probably the biggest meetup group in Perth. Find them on meetup.com. Beginners to experts, super, super fun. Okay, right, what are we going to talk about? So, these are my puppies, and the most common thing that people say when I show them that picture is, those are not puppies. They say those are clearly Ewoks. And this is a concern, because you want to know whether the furry creatures living in your home are pets or predators. And so, some of you are thinking Ewoks are very cute, but you are not recalling the film correctly, because there is a scene where Hans is being roasted over a fire, and there is another scene where Leah turns up on the planet and they present her with a beautiful, beautiful new outfit that she needs. Where did that outfit come from? There are no other human females on that planet. So we thought, if they are indeed Ewoks living in my house instead of Shih Tzus, then I need to know that for my own safety. I need to know whether I should floof them or fear them. And we thought we could build an app for that.
For sure.
Yeah, here is more evidence as to why you should fear the furry creatures. Oh. Go back.
The problem is one thing look like the other thing, not just Ewok and puppy. There's so many other things look similar. And they can trick the human eyes, but can they trick the AI? So we think it would be good to build an app with machine learning on it and to save Michelle from the Ewok attack.
Okay, so when we were thinking about building the app, we were immediately confused because there are a lot of choices if you're going to be building an app. What kind of app do you build? What do you use to build it? What is the difference between all of these different things? So Ada was no good to me. She just said, that's not really my area, that's up to you. So I looked into it and I thought, I am going to build a progressive web app. But you can feel free to make a bigger whoop for that. Because the more I looked into it, the more I thought, these are really cool. These are super simple. I don't need to build a separate one for iOS or for Android or for Windows. And I know what you're thinking, what Windows? But in fact, a progressive web app can run on your computer as well as your mobile phone with no, you don't have to do anything with it. It will automatically, it's responsive. It will automatically adapt itself. It will look like a native app. And we have the app that we built running at our Microsoft stand, if you want to check it out. Also, the web address that I have in this presentation, but it's also at the stand, you could put it into your phone, and you could have a look at how it looks on your phone as well. A little forward. Ooh. Oh. They are super, super simple. So all you really need is 3 components. You have a security component, which all the progressive web apps come with that built-in transport security layer protocol, a web app manifest, and a service worker. The whole app from start to finish took us only 30 minutes to build, so 15 minutes, no, a few minutes to build the app from the template. maybe another 10 minutes to customize the app and make it into what we wanted it to be, and then 15 minutes for the machine learning part. So 30 minutes total.
Yeah, thank you for Michelle to actually choose such an easy app to the front end, and now we can add some machine learning in it. So I'm not going to bore you guys with the whole history of machine learning from 1950 to now, but what I can say to you is now you don't need a single line of code, and so easy to set up, take way less of image to do it, and probably take 10 minutes to change a simple model. So it's very easy to do it.
If you did want to know the whole history, though, there is a really good introduction to machine learning course that the Azure Advocates has written. So if you want that, come to me at the stand afterwards and I'll give you the link. It's on GitHub.
So traditional programming, you have the data, and then you have the rule book, and the machine will do exactly what you tell them. But for machine learning, we become a paradigm shift. So you have the data, and you also provide the answer to them, and they come out the rules. So we need to be very careful about the garbage in, garbage out, or unintended bias.
She says this is a personal criticism on my training of the app. Because Sarada comes from a very rigorous academic background, and when you are training machine learning, you should have images where there's a clean background, nothing in it, no forests, no other people, no other stuff, and then the creature or whatever it is that you want to recognize in there. Whereas I don't know whether you have tried to do it, but it is very difficult to get a huge data set of Ewoks because you cannot go to their home planet. They don't allow it. Plus, it's pretty expensive, fuel prices these days, And so I had to take them off the internet, which she also does not approve of. But she was more concerned with the legality of the training, and I was more concerned with my personal safety. So sacrifices were made on my part. But yes, she made me redo the first lot because I had in my first training set included some images of Shih Tzus dressed as Ewoks, and arguably that was not fair.
So computer vision is a lot of application. There's a good showcase from Microsoft website. They using Seeing AI actually help visual impaired people to navigate the world through image to speech, scene detection, scene description, and the text to speech as well.
If you just search for Microsoft Seeing AI app, there's a lot of information about what it is. I was saying before that there's a lot of stuff that will make you cry in there because it's a really moving story, but Sarada says they have moved that story off there, so you might have to search a bit harder if you want to cry. That's a really good app, though, and that came out of a Microsoft hackathon, so that's like an internal thing that we do every year, and we have a week where you can sort of build stuff that is fun or interesting to you, and that's where that came out of. Oh, this is me. Okay, so where I was talking before and I said there's only 3 little components that you need to build your PWA. They are the web app manifest, the service worker, and the security component. So we used Vue as our front-end framework, and but you could use any. You could use React, you could use whatever you wanted. The web app manifest controls the look and feel of the app, what it's going to look like, your font size, the icon that you're going to use, some colors, maybe like the short link, the name of the app, stuff like that. The service worker is buzzing around doing all of the work in the background, so it's looking for those network calls, it's looking for any changes or queries that the user is putting in there. It's very responsive and very quick. It works independently. It's a JavaScript component, that file. and is working independently of the web app and the web page. And then the security. I don't know much about security, but you know, if you want to know more about security, then George is there at the stand later. He likes that stuff. We'll come back to the other components later. Okay, so this is how easy it is to build. So, as I say, we used Vue, so all you're going to need is the Vue CLI, Node.js, NPM, and Visual Studio Code. That's the command. We just put Vue create and then the app name, and then it automatically brings up this little wizard that says, what do you want to pick? Picked a bunch of things, and then it created it, and it looked like this. This is the basic template that comes when you create a Vue app, and then we're just going to change that to help us pick out Ewok or Puppy. So that took, like a couple of minutes to do that part. Then, the app.vue is the main file that you get within that template, and we just changed that a little bit in order to make the inference interface. So what we have put in there is something called detectImage.vue. DetectImage.vue was the hello world.vue that also comes as default as part of that template. So we've just changed the name on that, and then we've just added this little component to, detect the image, I guess. And we changed that welcome sentence to say, is it an Ewok or a puppy? So then in the detectImage.vue, that was the hello world, we have just done a little bit in there. So we've added a folder to put the images in. Those are the images that we're going to use to perform inference on it. So if you have signed up for the Cloud Skills Challenge at the Microsoft booth, it is going to teach you all about how to build an app like this and all about the custom vision stuff. In there, though, in that learning path, it gives you just one set of images to use for inference and training. That's totally cheating. You shouldn't be having your app use images that it was trained on to give it its
prediction.
It's what?
Prediction.
It's prediction, yes. You should be using a different set of images. But you can use what images you like as long as, you haven't stolen them from the internet like I did. And then we made a little button so that you could click next to go through the images. And we have some labels. So we have Ewok or Shih Tzu are the two labels that we're going to use in our classification machine learning model, which Sarada is going to speak to in a bit. The predictions is the other thing that we're going to have in the app. Okay.
So after the front end is done, now we go into the back end. So we use Azure Custom Vision, and then after we train the model, we download to the TensorFlow.js, and we found that using the Git Action CI/CD, the continued integration and continued development is really useful tools, and everyone should learn it. And after that, you can put it back to the cloud and then host our web app.
You know what, I totally didn't say that to you before. When I was thinking about building the progressive web app, one of the things that you think about is where do you want to host the model, the machine learning model. So you could put it directly in the cloud, but if you did that, you would need to use an API to make calls to do that inference data to the model. With the PWA, you can actually do stuff offline. So we have put the model, we've hosted the model, the machine learning model, within the code base of the app itself, which means that it's totally good, none of those expensive API calls, but any time that we retrain the model and we want to use the new version of that training, it would need to redeploy the app. And we solved that by using GitHub Actions to redeploy it anytime it saw a change in the code or in the model. So totally automated, no need to panic, no extra work involved.
Yeah, that is how you see it when you open the custom vision. In the top corner, you just need to pick up whatever you're using, the classification or object detection. If you are interested in object detection, feel free to go to the Microsoft stand, and they have a demo over there. And after that, you can load up all your image and then prepare the tag for it, and then have a simple UI, and you just need to tag on your image. And then you are now ready to train. And after the training, you can instantly see the precision, recall, or average precision. So you can see the result. If you're happy with that, you can download it. Otherwise, you just add more information, more image, and then retrain again. Just wait a couple of minutes, and we're done.
Yeah, so this is classification, Ewok or Shih Tzu. On the stand, we have the robot, and it's doing object detection. It detects the cones, it detects the Lego men, although we have taken out the code that was telling it what to do with the Lego men because George had trained it to kill the Lego men. And it was a bit concerning when that was just coming up on the screen all the time. But yeah, you can see it's just like a little tick box. It's not like no extra code. It's real easy to use.
So behind the scene, the custom vision actually using supervised and transfer learning. All you need to do is prepare the data and the label for the robot. And the robot actually already see all the images in the website, in the internet, and they know how to distinguish thousands of classification already. But you want to train them to do your particular task. So the robot will split the training and validation set, and through the training, they learn what needs to be done, and they will figure out. After a while, and you can test it. So through the validation set, you can ask them whatever they do right or wrong. After all, you're happy with the training, you can put the robot in the cloud and then start seeing some new image they never seen before, and they will let you know the confidence level.
Okay, so this is just the little bit of code that will do that part. So what we have here is it will look for the images, the image that is mounted. So we put that in instead of, where you saw the view icon before. That's where the image will be now. And we have a kind of iterative thing where you can click next. We've got a button in there that, we showed that on the other screen, where you can click next and it will go through to the next image, next image, next image, next image. And then asynchronously, it will also take those labels that you see up there, and it will predict using the model and put a confidence level on whether it is Shih Tzu or Ewok. And I'll show you what that looks like in a little bit. Here's the magic.
Follow the learning path is much more complicated method to do it, but Michelle taking up all the knowledge she had and then find out the gig action and that 3 little add-on extension in the Visual Studio Code, and actually can do the work much faster. So we only need the GitHub pull request, Azure Tools, and Azure Static Web App. And once you do the authentication and log into the Azure portal, and you're ready to go.
So in the learning path, it gives you 5 hours of content where it explains how to do everything really the long way and what it all means and what it all stands for. It tells you to use a web app and a web app plan. I say use a static web app. Much quicker, works much better with front-end frameworks like Vue. And yeah, it will teach you how to go to Azure and then create those in the portal directly. And then you can choose from a lot of different options where you're going to put it, the size, things like that. Here, you don't need to go to the Azure portal at all, and you don't even need to go to GitHub at all. You can access all of these extensions directly from within Visual Studio, and you can just click on them, and then it will initialize your GitHub repo. It will deploy your code to there. It will create the apps in the cloud. It will take the secrets and put those into GitHub Actions. It does everything. It's all magic.
So when you click the static web app, and you only need to follow the wizard and only answer 5 different questions. First of all, you need to answer what is your app's name? It's not hard to do. Secondly, you need to pick the region. So we could pick the closest one. The third one is just pick your framework. So we use the Vue.js here, and then putting the path and the directory, and then hit enter. That's all you need to do.
The reason why you might want to do it in the portal is you can be more specific about what region you want. So the Australia regions are not there. I always use Southeast Asia, Singapore, and those are not there in the wizard. It's giving you like a really cut down set of choices. This is good if you don't know what options you want and you just want to go click, click, let's build. But if you do want to be more specific about where you're putting stuff, then you do want to do it separately, and that's why you've got the whole learning path to go along.
And ta-da! All the green tick you got. Yes, it's so easy to do, and I'm very happy for me to have the first Git action happen.
She's happy with all the little green ticks because it just like, automatically click, 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 and just like did all the things, deployed everything like magic. I'm standing too far away. There we go.
Yeah, and then we can check in the GitHub. So after our first initial push, and then they initialize the web app, but after we retrain the model, and just we have a very simple Git push and streamline all the workflow for us. And we don't need to leave the Visual Studio portal at all.
Yeah, so that's within GitHub itself that you're looking in the Actions tab there, and you see the little green ticks mean it has all worked. When we were doing it manually initially, we did not always have green ticks, but now it's all good. Okay, so this is an image that I used to test the machine learning model before we downloaded it and deployed it to our app. And I have not got my glasses on there. So yeah, it says Shih Tzu 84.1% and Ewok 15%. And then this is how the app looks on my phone. So these are screenshots from my phone. Now you see in this first one, Ewok 66%. I had to ask myself, how much risk is too much risk? These creatures are living in my house and they are sleeping next to me in the darkness of the night. So we're thinking like maybe for the next iteration of the app, maybe it shouldn't just be that it will help us with some level of confidence judge whether it's Ewok or Shih Tzu, but maybe there should be a button to press, to call for help. But it has got better. You see on that one, it's 100% sure that they are Shih Tzus. So here's just a bunch more of the inference things that it goes through, and like sometimes it's pretty good. Like that one, he's standing up on 2 legs and he's dressed as an Ewok, and yet it's 96% sure that he is a Shih Tzu. I think that's good. But if you try it on your own phones, you will not always get such good results, and it's because I have, all of those images are different sizes, and they are not, there is not a consistency amongst them, so therefore I have perhaps biased my data a little bit and not really given it a level playing field. But yeah, have a go yourselves.
So overall, we have so much fun together to build this app and share the learning experience with you. And I definitely learned a lot, and then I would like to have that continued development with Michelle, and then definitely adapt the Git action in my work life as well. So thank you, Michelle.
So as I say, there is a Cloud Skills Challenge on the stand. You can get a t-shirt or a hat, maybe both, depending on how much they like you, if you sign up for that. And it will teach you. It will teach you how to build the app, and it will teach you how to do the custom vision and AI. If you need a little bit of cloud, there is also some free cloud on the stand. Only first 100 people, though. Simon wouldn't give me any more. And there we go. So yeah, come visit us on the stand if you have any questions and want to talk to us about it or see the killer robot afterwards. Thank you.